Sheamus 515 says I just kicked your ass. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Monday Night Raw November 30th review. And yeah, we got that saying out of the WWE World Champion. Sheamus 515 says I just kicked your ass. Referring to how long Roman Reigns was champion, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I thought it was a really good show myself. I know ratings have been down here lately. I think there's some parts of the show that was very intriguing. Some of the shows like, same old shit. But overall, it wasn't bad. I watched the entire thing. Fast forward through some of the matches, mind you, but I did watch the vast majority of every minute of it. Started off with a New Day promo. Just the New Day coming out the confetti, falling from the ceiling, and just loving it up like only the New Day can. And then talking about the champion and having Sheamus come out, not only with the world title, in a suit. It looked like corporate Sheamus. And just everything going on with the New Day and Sheamus, I'm like, okay, all these heels out here, something, is there going to be a return? Are we getting a Daniel Bryan return? John Cena coming back early? He's off filming some game show or whatever. I'm like, okay, there's got to be a face coming out. Roman Reigns comes out, Superman punches Sheamus, takes his title and walks away. Got a little pop from the crowd. I'm like, alright, there's your face moment. It was a decent pop. People cheered, so wasn't one of those Daniel Bryan type cheers, but it was alright, I guess. Then we go to the commercial break, come backstage. We have Roman Reigns standing there with the world title with Dean Ambrose and the Usos, and then Tripp and Stephanie walking up. Face off between Triple H and Roman Reigns. Okay, fine. We know WrestleMania 32, Roman Reigns, Triple H, blah blah blah. Build it up 4 months in advance. Tripp demanding the title. Roman Reigns going like this. When Tripp would reach for it, he pulls it back and laughs. Here you go, Steph. Hands it to Steph. They tell. That segment ends with that, and then next we had a rematch from Survivor Series. We had Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler. Typical Raw match. Faith wins. Dolph got the victory there. Nothing big happened. Next we had Miz TV with Rusev and Lana. Ryback comes out, interrupts it. I really didn't watch it. It was more or less fast forward. Ooh, interesting. Rewind. What just happened? Oh, Ryback came out. Fast forward. Then we had a backstage, that little match between Ryback and Rusev, and then a count out by Rusev purposely getting counted out. Then we had backstage with Tripp and Dean Ambrose, and they talk about the Roman Reigns title match for the night versus Sheamus. It's a beat the clock match. Roman Reigns has to beat Sheamus in under 5 minutes and 15 seconds. If not, Dean Ambrose will not be in the Intercontinental title match at TLC. And then the Usos would not be in the tag title match at Triple Threat tag title. It might be later on. Oops, give that away. But we'll get into that later. So Dean Ambrose, if Roman Reigns doesn't beat Sheamus in 5 minutes and 15 seconds, Dean Ambrose will not be an Intercontinental title. They're trying to prove to Roman Reigns his actions not only affect him, but affect his family and friends too. We had the Dudleys come out, cutting a promo with tables. Had tables of all the Wyatt family lined up with their names on it. Wyatt's come out, 4-on-2, and then Dudleys go, we have a friend whose family to join us. We have a Tommy Dreamer return. Yes, that's how excited I was for the Tommy Dreamer 14th, 15th return to WWE. Could give two shits less, honestly. ECW, got an ECW chant going. Ooh, we're going to bring the Sandman back too? Then it was a Wyatt versus Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer 3-on-3 match. Everybody but Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt gets up on the ringside to interfere in the match or get distraction on the Dudleys, and there's a table set up behind him, and but Bray just pushes them and Bray Wyatt falls to the table. It's like as cheesy can get, and then all the Wyatts freak out and they go help Bray up, and the match ends like that. So it was like, okay. Setting up a tables match between the Wyatt family and the Dudleys at TLC. I figured the Dudleys would be in the tables match, so it's neither here or there with that. Gives a feud for the Wyatts. Hopefully Bray goes on something bigger and better. I got thinking what they could do with the Wyatts, if they really want to build them up as a heel faction, is give Bray the world title, give Luke the IC title back, give Strowman and Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman the tag titles. Have titles in all the Wyatts. It could be done. I mean, I'd be alright with it. I mean, ain't nothing to brag about, but I think it'd be alright. Next, we had Goldust versus United States Champion Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio gets the victory on Goldust, and then Swagger comes out and attacks Del Rio. It's obviously setting up U.S. title. Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio, TLC. Next segment, we had a backstage segment with Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Talking about them two going out there like NXT days and putting on a show for everyone and showing them what the Divas can do. Charlotte agreed to it, so we set a match up for later for Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Next, we had the number one contender for the tag titles. We had the Lucha Dragons versus the Usos. New Day on commentary, which is just fucking hilarious in itself. Obviously, either team, Usos or Lucha Dragons, love to see either one as the number one contender. Started really liking the Usos before Jimmy got hurt. I think it was Jimmy that got hurt at WrestleMania. So what they can do for the tag division, I think is good, along with the New Day. And then really liking the Lucha Dragons after Kalisto having that world title tournament, what I keep talking about. I'm really high on the Lucha Dragons. I want them to kind of actually do something. So we had New Day at ringside, obviously. You know, the winner of this is number one contender. So what can the New Day do? Let's interfere with both teams. Cause a double DQ. No one wins. So there's no number one contender. Well, that's what the New Day thought. Backstage, we have Stephanie McMahon and Helmsley with the Lucha Dragons and the Usos, and announced the triple threat match for the tag titles at TLC. But if Roman Reigns does not beat Sheamus in the beat the clock match under 5 minutes and 15 seconds, the Usos are out. Because Roman Reigns needs to understand his actions not only affect himself, but his friends and family. Next, we had another Divas match. We had first Divas match. We had Brie Bella versus Sasha Banks. Sasha getting the victory by submission. Next, we had the WWE World Title Beat the Clock match. Roman Reigns has to beat Sheamus in under 5 minutes and 15 seconds in order for Roman Reigns to get his family and friends to get their number one contender shots at TLC. Well, 40 seconds left. We have Rusev down at ringside, and Rusev pulls Roman Reigns out, so the match ends in DQ. Roman Reigns got the victory in less than 5 minutes and 15 seconds by DQ. Who didn't see that one coming? And then we have Del Rio and Wade Barrett and King Barrett down there. They are hanging with Sheamus. And then we get announced the League of Nations, a newly formed faction with Sheamus, Rusev, King Barrett, and Alberto Del Rio. The League of Nations. So Reigns is in the ring with Dean Ambrose and the Usos. So we get announced a 4-on-4 8-man tag later tonight in the main event. Next we have Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Ric Flair's there. Paige on commentary. Paige just kind of talking about both divas. As it gets toward the end, Charlotte had came off the turnbuckle kind of weird, kind of looked like she had twisted her knee. She's laying on the mat, so Becky Lynch, her friend, leans down to make sure she was all right. Rick jumps on the ringside. Becky turns to see what Rick wanted, And Charlotte dropped Becky 1-2-3. Roll up for the pin 1-2-3. Gets the pin with the Rick distraction. Backstage, Becky's kind of beside herself. Charlotte's like, Becky, I'm trying to toughen you up. I'm trying to tough love. We're still pals, and the pinky thing, and I'm just trying to toughen you up and showing you what's out there. You can't always be so trusting. Don't know if we got a hint of a Charlotte possibly kind of heel turn, but obviously being the daughter of the dirtiest player in the game, she's going to use some of that. Next, we had the 8-man tag. We had the League of Nations. I really love them doing this. All, no Americans on this team. It's kind of cool, actually. Sheamus, Rusev, King Bear, and Alberto Del Rio. Had it versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Usos. Well, the friends of the League of Nations, the New Day, comes down and decides to join the match. So we have, probably for the first time ever, a 7-on-4 tag match. Making a fucking battle royal at that point. God damn. But we have the League of Nations getting the victory here. We have Sheamus pinning Ambrose. I like the League of Nations. You get the world title, you get the U.S. title, you get the King of the Ring, you got Rusev versus whatever, the freaking Roman Reigns family, friend shit. Which, we have Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, TLC for the world title. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the U.S. title. We have the Usos and Lucha Dragons and New Day for the tag titles at TLC. We have Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title. So we have a lot of matches coming together for TLC, and then right after TLC is NXT Europe Takeover, or Takeover Europe, whatever you want to call it. So obviously as it gets closer to TLC, I'll get that preview up. I'll keep doing the Raw reviews as long as Raw is watchable. So that will wrap up the November 30th WWE Monday Night Raw review. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show and have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.
Go! If you close your eyes, your life, and make it truth revealed. Dreams you never lived, and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to